What if everything you've ever wanted was right within your reach, but you just didn't know how to access it? Most people spend their entire lives chasing peace, success, and clarity, only to get lost in the chaos of everyday life. What they don't realize is that there's already a path laid out, an energy that can unlock doors the rational mind can't even begin to imagine. Devi isn't just a belief or an idea, she's a living force, capable of transforming your life in ways you never thought possible. But to tap into her power, you first need to understand how to connect with her. Existence unfolds through three essential qualities: tamas, rajas, and sat. Tamas is inertia, the resistance to movement, the force that keeps someone stuck, both mentally and physically. It's like waking up every morning feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and drained. Rajas, on the other hand, is pure activity and passion, the fire that drives people to chase their desires, often impulsively and without direction. And then there's sat, the state of transcendence, clarity, and wisdom, where life isn't just about running after things, but about truly understanding the nature of what you seek. These qualities shape the way people live and interact with the world. Think of someone who spends the whole day on the couch, too tired to do anything. That's tamas in control. Now imagine someone constantly busy, jumping from one task to another, never really finding fulfillment. That's rajas. But then there are those who operate from a place of balance and deep understanding, where every action is intentional and meaningful. That's sat. The problem is, most people are stuck swinging between tamas and rajas, never tapping into the depth of sat. To rise above the chaos of inertia and restless activity, you have to cultivate more sat, practices like meditation, self-reflection, and a genuine commitment to inner growth help fine-tune the mind and body to a higher state. Some traditions recommend reading scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches the balance between action and wisdom. Others suggest practicing gratitude and daily self-awareness. After all, recognizing your own internal state is the first step to changing it. And as you align yourself with sat, something bigger starts to unfold. Celestial bodies aren't just floating objects in space, they directly influence human energy. Earth, with its gravity and stability, represents tamas, bringing inertia and resistance to movement. The sun, with its intensity and heat, is rajas in pure action, driving growth and constant activity. And the moon, mysterious and ethereal, embodies sat, connecting the human mind to subtler states of perception and transcendence. Each of these forces shapes the way people think, feel, and experience life, even if they're not consciously aware of it. Have you ever noticed how some people feel sluggish on cloudy days, but energized when the sun is shining? That's rajas influencing the mind. Similarly, a full moon can heighten emotions and sensitivities, awakening a deeper connection with the inner world. That's why, in many spiritual traditions, certain practices are done during specific lunar cycles, because the moon amplifies meditation and introspective experiences. And it's no coincidence that so many ancient cultures had rituals dedicated to the sun and moon, understanding that these celestial bodies shape human consciousness. Tuning into these energies isn't just about watching the sky, it's about learning how to adjust your inner state to make the most of each phase. Some people start their day with sun salutations, Surya Namaskar, to absorb the vitality of rajas, while at night, they practice gentle meditations to align with sat. Small changes like these create a bridge between the chaos of daily life and a more aligned existence. But understanding this celestial connection is just the beginning. Feminine energy manifests in different forms, each catering to specific aspirations. Kali and Durga represent tamas, intense, fierce, and destructive when necessary. They are worshipped by those seeking strength, protection, and the ability to overcome great obstacles. Lakshmi, on the other hand, embodies rajas, symbolizing prosperity, success, and material abundance, ideal for those striving for financial growth and stability. Finally, Saraswati personifies Sat, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and mental clarity, perfect for those looking to transcend the limitations of the ordinary mind. The energy someone resonates with reflects their needs and intentions. A warrior seeking courage may connect with Kali, while an entrepreneur chasing prosperity might turn to Lakshmi. Meanwhile, a spiritual seeker yearning to understand the nature of existence will naturally surrender to Saraswati. And this isn't just symbolic. The way a person aligns with these energies shapes their reality in ways most people don't even realize. What you desire, consciously or unconsciously, influences your life more than you might think. But here's the key: none of these energies work alone. Even someone chasing material success needs mental clarity, Saraswati, and protection from obstacles, Kali and Durga. Likewise, a person devoted to spiritual growth can't ignore the needs of the body and the material world. Learning to balance these forces is what creates a fulfilling life. And as one begins to understand this subtle game, it becomes clear that they are part of a cycle much bigger than they ever imagined. Life seems to follow a predictable script: birth, growth, struggle, pleasure, pain, aging, and death. This cycle repeats endlessly, not just over one lifetime, but across ages. For most people, existence is ruled by tamas and rajas. Either they surrender to the automatic patterns of life, tamas, or they chase after pleasure, power, and achievements without truly understanding the deeper purpose of existence, rajas. Very few ever tap into Sat, the state of transcendence that breaks this endless loop. Imagine a wheel spinning endlessly. That's samsara, the cycle of life and death. People chase happiness, yet they end up trapped in endless desires, like someone trying to fill a bucket with holes. Have you ever met someone who's always chasing something, yet never truly satisfied? That's rajas in action. On the other hand, those who drift through life without questioning anything, stuck in autopilot, are under the influence of tamas. True awakening happens when you recognize this wheel and decide to step off. The only way to transcend this game is by cultivating awareness. Some traditions recommend deep meditation, where you observe your own mind and recognize the patterns that control you. Others emphasize detachment, not in an indifferent way, but with clarity about what truly matters. When someone realizes there's more to life than the cycle of desires and frustrations, a new horizon opens up, and that's where the real journey toward transcendence begins. This pursuit of transcendence doesn't happen by accident. It takes conscious effort to break free from inertia, tamas, and restless activity, rajas. Only those who intentionally cultivate Sat begin to see that there's something beyond the endless race of life. This requires spiritual discipline, not as a set of rigid rules, but as an internal alignment where every action, thought, and emotion is directed toward a higher state of existence. Without this intention, a person can spend lifetimes without taking a single real step toward liberation. But what does it actually mean to live in Sat? It means creating moments of silence and introspection every day, developing discernment about what truly matters, and cultivating a connection with something greater than fleeting desires. Some people do this through consistent meditation, while others study sacred texts like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which teach how the mind can be trained to reach higher states of awareness. The method itself doesn't matter as much as the consistency and dedication to the process. And this dedication doesn't mean withdrawing from the world. It means learning to live within it with wisdom. Great masters have always emphasized that transcendence isn't about rejecting life, but understanding it at its core. When someone aligns with Sat, illusions start to dissolve naturally, and what once seemed important begins to lose its grip. But even on this path, having certain forces to guide the way can make all the difference. On the path to transcendence, few recognize the impact of the energies around them. Linga Bhairavi isn't just a symbol, it's a living manifestation of feminine energy, designed to transform those who open themselves to it. Unlike purely philosophical approaches, this consecrated form of the divine feminine works directly on those who seek her with sincere devotion. For anyone looking for strength, clarity, and a real push on their journey, Bhairavi doesn't just respond, she reshapes and restructures a person's very essence. And this energy isn't abstract. Many people who have connected with Linga Bhairavi report profound shifts in their lives, ranging from greater emotional stability to a deeper sense of purpose. This happens because her presence dissolves inner blockages and guides individuals toward a path that is truly aligned with their nature. Just like a magnetic field realigns scattered metal particles, Bhairavi reorganizes internal confusion, bringing coherence and direction. But this energy doesn't work alone. It responds to intention and engagement. That's why practices like chanting, meditation, and devotional rituals are powerful tools to deepen this connection. For those feeling stuck in repetitive patterns or uncertain about their next steps, Bhairavi can be the breakthrough force needed to shatter limitations and access a higher level of existence. But to fully benefit from her presence, one must know how to engage with this force the right way. Many people see devotion as something vague, just a feeling or a passive belief. But the truth is, when properly directed, devotion works like a perfectly tuned machine. If you know how to operate it, it can take you to states of consciousness your rational mind could never reach on its own. Linga Bhairavi doesn't demand blind submission. She requires precise alignment with her energy, where intention, action, and surrender work together. When that happens, the transformation isn't just internal, it radiates into every aspect of life. But just like any powerful machine, Bhairavi can create turbulence if approached without understanding. Someone who steps into this energy without clarity or sincerity may feel internal chaos because this force doesn't tolerate hesitation. It's like jumping into a raging river without knowing how to swim. Instead of carrying you forward, the current might pull you in unexpected directions. That's why, in ancient traditions, rituals and devotional practices were carefully structured not to restrict, but to ensure that this energy is channeled in a way that is both powerful and constructive. One practical way to establish this connection is through specific chants or symbolic offerings that represent the practitioner's intention. Just like a machine needs regular maintenance to function properly, devotion requires consistency to produce real results. When this relationship deepens, Bhairavi stops being just a concept and becomes a living force, actively shaping one's experience. But to reach true alignment, the practitioner's internal structure also needs to be calibrated. Internal balance doesn't happen by accident. It takes intention and discipline to align the body, mind, and emotions. Sadhana isn't just a spiritual practice. It's an internal refinement process. Just like an athlete trains daily to improve physical performance, someone on the path of growth needs to structure their energy consciously. Without this foundation, the mind stays scattered, emotions fluctuate uncontrollably, and the body becomes an obstacle instead of a vessel for higher experiences. The key is consistency. Small daily habits like starting the day with mindful breathing, practicing specific postures asanas, and setting aside moments for introspection make a huge difference. Some traditions recommend chanting mantras to establish mental stability, while others emphasize the power of silence to reorganize internal processes. No matter the method, what truly matters is continuous practice, because that's what turns knowledge into real experience. And it's not just about creating discipline, it's about making it feel natural. When sadhana is done right, it doesn't feel like a chore. It becomes a flow state where the body cooperates, the mind responds, and emotions find balance. Life stops feeling like a battlefield and turns into a space of clarity and ease. And once this internal structure strengthens, emotional intelligence becomes more accessible, allowing a way of living that feels truly aligned. For too long, people have been led to believe that intellect is the ultimate tool for success. But how many times have you seen someone incredibly smart make terrible decisions simply because they couldn't handle their own emotions? Emotional intelligence is what truly defines the quality of one's life experience. While intellect dissects, analyzes, and separates, emotional intelligence connects, integrates, and brings clarity amidst chaos. Those who learn to master their emotions gain a level of freedom that pure logic alone can never offer. Picture someone who can argue brilliantly, but loses their temper over small frustrations. Or someone with technical expertise, yet they're paralyzed by fear of failure. Intellect can solve math problems, but it can't heal a broken heart. That's why developing emotional intelligence is essential, and it's not about suppressing feelings, but understanding them and using them as tools for deeper growth. Practices like meditation, mindful observation, and self-reflection help reprogram emotional patterns that quietly sabotage many people's lives. When emotional intelligence is nurtured, something truly remarkable unfolds. Automatic reactions decrease, relationships improve, and the mind becomes a space of greater balance. People who once felt trapped in cycles of anxiety and impulsiveness start experiencing life in a more fluid and conscious way. And this inner balance doesn't just enhance personal life, it also paves the way for a deeper, more meaningful sense of devotion. Many people see devotion as something they practice occasionally, a ritual here, a prayer there, but this approach is like trying to keep a flame lit in the wind. True devotion isn't just an isolated act. It's a state of being. When someone truly commits to this energy, everything in life starts aligning different. It's not just about making offerings or repeating mantras. It's about transforming the way you perceive and interact with the world. When devotion is consistent, fear, failure, and suffering lose their grip on the mind. And devotion isn't about blind submission, it's about total involvement. Anyone who has ever been completely immersed in something, whether it's art, music, or a relationship, knows what it feels like to be lost in devotion. The problem is, most people direct this intensity toward temporary things, while true seekers learn to channel this energy toward something greater. That's why devotional practices like bhakti yoga aren't just spiritual exercises, they're tools to break the illusion of separation and awaken a deeper connection with existence. And when that connection happens, the impact is undeniable. Daily worries lose their intensity, purpose becomes clearer, and the mind finds peace. What once seemed difficult starts feeling effortless, because devotion dissolves the barriers the mind creates. Now that you understand how this energy can transform your life, the real question is, are you ready to open yourself to it? Change doesn't happen through knowledge alone. It requires real engagement. So, how can you apply this connection in your daily life? How can you use this force to overcome challenges and reach what you truly desire? Drop your answer in the comments and subscribe to the channel to keep going on this journey of discovery.